Hey guys, in this video we're going to look at some free AAX plugins you can use with Pro Tools. These are all easy to use plugins from some high-end plugin developers that can be used to expand the functionality of Pro Tools for mixing, and they also work in the new free version, Pro Tools Intro. Pro Tools only works with plugins in the AAX format, but many developers program their plugins for multiple formats. All the plugins we'll cover in this video are available in AAX to be used with Pro Tools. There's a variety of free guitar amp simulator plugins available for download in the AAX format that are compatible with Pro Tools. All of these plugins are used to process a clean direct guitar signal that's plugged directly into an audio interface and make it sound like it's played through an amp and cabinet. Included with the Native Instruments Complete Start package, the Guitar Rig 6 amp simulator gives us a variety of amp sounds, but it's a stripped down version of the paid plugin that has a lot more simulated amps, effects, and cabinets. In the Guitar Rig 6 amp, we get the jump amplifier with a match cabinet and multiple effects for overdrive, reverb, delay, and more. This easy-to-use plugin also features 51 different presets to get a quick start creating some guitar tones. All the effects and amps included are aesthetically well made with a very sleek interface and customizable controls to adjust everything like gain, equalization, and the amount and timing of a lot of the effects. The Amplitude 5 CS plugin is another high-quality guitar amp simulator plugin developed by IK Multimedia. The free version has 6 amplifiers including the Brit 8000, American Tube Clean, American Tube Clean 2, British Tube Lead 1, SLD 100, and solid-state bass preamp. These have 7 included cabinets with the 1x12 open vintage, 1x15 bass vintage, 2x12 closed vintage, 4x10 open vintage, 4x12 Brit 8000, 4x12 closed vintage, and 8x12 metal T. There are 3 microphones that can be used, including the Dynamic 57, Condenser 414, and Condenser 87. All of these can be simulated within 6 rooms, simulated as amp closet, garage, hall, large studio, mid studio, and small studio. The free version of Amplitude includes 10 pedals with a 7-band graphic equalizer, chorus, compressor, delay, diode overdrive, flanger, noise gate, opto tremolo, volume, and wah. There's also rack effects units including digital chorus, digital delay, digital reverb, graphic EQ, parametric EQ, and a tube compressor. There's also plenty of general audio effects and plugins for mixing available from a lot of high-end plugin developers online. These plugins are from established plugin developers, as many of them are free plugins made by companies known for their expensive high-end plugins. Blue Cat Audio has a freeware plugin package that can be used in Pro Tools to add a lot of additional plugins. The freeware plugin package has 7 included plugins. They are Chorus, Flanger, Preamp, Freak Analyst, Gain Suite, Phaser, and Triple EQ. The chorus effect can be used to create a subtle modulation or more extreme effect with a lot of flexible controls including delay time, depth, rate, and stereo spread. You can adjust the wet-dry mix and change the shape of the oscillation from triangle to sine wave. The flanger effect has similar controls for delay, depth, rate, and spread, but features a feed-forward knob. Blue Cat's free amp is used as a guitar amp simulator with 3 amp models for Classic Clean, Classic Drive, and Modern Drive, each with a gain, drive, equalization, and volume controls. None of these have cabinet impulses, and therefore cabinet simulation is something that you would need to add separately to get the most out of these plugins. The impulse simulator is included, but you need to add your own impulses. The Freak Analyst is one of the Frequency Spectrum Analyst plugins that shows us the level of various frequencies throughout the song over time. The Gain Suite is used to change the gain level of a mono signal or left and right signals individually and also includes mid-side processing. The Phaser creates a vintage-style phasing effect with controls for multi-stage phasing, depth, rate, stereo spread, dry-wet mix, and feedback with a wave shape like the other plugins. The last included plugin is the Triple EQ, which is a parametric equalizer with a low shelf filter, high shelf filter, and boost cut peak filters. The plugin is able to boost or cut 40 decibels and also has automatic gain compensation. iZotope is another high-end plugin developer with a few free plugins available we can add to Pro Tools. The Ozone Imager plugin from iZotope is a free imager plugin that creates a visual stereo display of your master track on the screen to view how your mix sits in stereo space. It also has options for stereo widening to help transform a mono track or a narrow stereo track into a wider stereo track. Not only can it be used to expand the track in stereo, but it can also be used to narrow tracks down, such as a bass track or kick, to get the low-end frequencies focused towards the center of the stereo space. The Vocal Doubler plugin is another iZotope plugin used to create a doubling sound in a vocal track to add additional depth to an otherwise mono source. The Vocal Doubler is able to create stereo separation between the doubled vocal sounds. There's options for the amount of effect, separation, and variation between the doubled sounds. The last free plugin from iZotope is Vinyl. This is a plugin used to create a lo-fi effect and simulate the sound of vinyl with options to set it to 1930s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 2000s, and has tools for the amount of dust, scratch, and warp on the track. It can also be used on a master channel with some automation to create a spin down effect. The Old School Verb plugin by Voxengo is a free algorithmic reverb plugin that creates room, plate, and hall reverb sounds to create space in your mix. The reverb plugin features controls for the type of reverb, pre-delay, space, time, and width, with damping and equalization, as well as dry-wet mix and overall reverb volume. Having a solid reverb plugin is an essential starting point to all projects, and this should be included with any new free DAW setup. The last plugin to include for free with Pro Tools is the Softtube Saturation Knob plugin. This is a distortion and tube saturation plugin designed to fatten bass tracks and add harmonics onto vocals. The Saturation Knob plugin is very simple and just has a single saturation knob that can be increased to turn up the amount of the effect. From there, there's also a saturation type, which can be set to keep high, neutral, or keep low, depending on if you want to protect the high or low frequencies from being affected by the saturation and distortion. Thanks for checking out this video on free AAX plugins for Pro Tools. If this video helped you out, don't forget to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon to get notified whenever a new video is released. You can also check the video description for social media accounts to stay up to date on all our new content.